What do Hereford cattle and intellectual property law have in common? Patent leather would be an acceptable answer. But in this case, it's Sam Fox. A Washington, D.C. native, Sam spent many years working as a managing partner at the law firm Stern, Kessler, Goldstein, and Fox before he struck out to make it as a cattle rancher a few miles outside of a small Virginia town at the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains called Sperryville. But before he reinvented himself as a cattleman, he put all of his energies, including countless 7-day weeks, into building the law firm into one of the most respectable names in the industry.
He was a partner in the firm, and he worked extremely hard, like partners in firms do in Washington, D.C. He was a real Washington lawyer. I can't think of anybody else with whom I could have built the practice group. So we were in the trenches together very early on.
We were really working 7 days a week. All of us would go in Sunday mornings and at least work a half a day on Sunday. So we got the property and I started coming out here on Sundays, and then pretty soon I was coming out on Saturdays and Sundays, and then I was taking every spare moment, and instead of taking vacations away, I would take my time here, and it just grew into a true passion of mine.
Sam bought the land where he would build his ranch in 1988, but he didn't leave the law firm to live there until 2001.
We always knew that he was torn, and he loved his farm. He loved what he was doing out there. I mean, it isn't like Sam in 2001 decided he would buy himself a piece of land and become a farmer overnight. That's not at all the way it happened. He slowly transitioned from 100% lawyer to 100% farmer over a decade to 2 decades. And he tested both lives in parallel, and I think that's the way to do it.
It happened gradually. Now he is 100% a cattleman. He loves the physicality of it. He loves the hard work. He loves the constant work, the projects. This is a dream for him. It's what he loves.
I've always loved to be outdoors. I've always loved working in the garden. I've loved mechanical things. I've loved carpentry and building. And all of a sudden, all of that was wrapped up in this place.
It's the life he had been wanting to lead for many years, and it's an idyllic setting. But that doesn't mean that things come easy on the ranch.
There are so many challenges. We've got about 65 animals that are completely dependent on us, and we better know what we're doing. It can be frightening sometimes, so we really, really need to learn, so we don't make any big mistakes.
Now here are groundhog holes, and you can see why they're such a problem. You can drop a tractor wheel in there and break an axle.
His passion for the rural life brought him out to the country, but his knowledge of chemistry, combined with earnest preparation, made his transition a success.
With his experience working in biotechnology and chemistry here at the law firm, he has appreciation not just for animals, but the science behind raising animals.
Come on, buddy.
We got some good bulls and we started learning. He started taking courses, learning about what it was he was doing. Not just the cattle, but also the pasture, how to grow good pasture.
Come here, buddy. I bought 4 pregnant cows from a neighbor, left the cattle on his place, and worked with him on the weekends, trying to learn how to be a cattle farmer. What has helped me enormously is the support that I've gotten from people much more knowledgeable than myself.
As he undertook restoring this stable and making it his home, and he undertook learning how to cut hay off the hay fields and how to make fences, he gained the respect of the farmers that live all around us. And I think that certainly was very, very important. It's been more than 20 years now. And Sam is one of the locals. He's one of the farmers.
I think Sam is loving life right now. When I talk to him on the phone, he always says, Mike, I'm doing great. The weather's great, my herd is doing great. We have 21 calves born this spring, and I'm having the time of my life. So I don't see a single regret in Sam Fox.
Somebody once said, if you love your job, you never work a day in your life. And it's more about that, I think, than anything else. I think many, many, many people retire in their job 10 or 20 years before they actually leave their job. And it's an easy thing to do. There's a complacency that develops, and I think it's really critical to work towards constantly redeveloping and growing. It's about growth more than anything else. And just smell that. I mean, this is good smelling stuff. Yeah. Maybe not to a city girl, but what we call good smelling stuff. I'm not exactly sure everybody's passion would be living in the country or living on the land or farming or whatever. But I certainly think everyone's life would be enriched if they could find a thing to go to that was a passion for them or made them excited to get up in the morning.
This is looking good since we've had good sun and good rain.
I think of all our friends, I think of all the other opportunities that we could have. I wouldn't trade any of them for being here and doing what we're doing. I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's perfect for us.
I remember when I first acquired the property, I had a client that lived up towards Sperryville, and she came out and looked at the place, and she said, my God, Sam, it's going to be a life's work. I said, that's it, Ruth. That's exactly what it is. It's a life's work. And that's what it's turned out to be.